Hello, Cherries. Welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, Special Monday, episode 240. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to play the Essential Tritone in the blues. Now, this is really cool. Let me just say hello here to Gene Bold, morning from BC. Give you a round of applause. And right off the bat, my applause button doesn't work. Let's see why that is. I think I know where that is. We're going to fix that real quick right here in the sound section. And we'll try that. We'll see if this works. Here, applause. Nope, no applause still. Okay, let's try one more thing. One more thing here in the sound. And output, headphones. I don't know what's happening. There it is. All that work to get you some applause. All right, so I'm going to give you a little example here of what we're doing. Finding the tritone in each of the three dominant chords in the blues. I have a little progression here on a backing track that I created. And if you want this backing track, let me know. Email me at info@cherry. I'll send it over to you. It sounds like this. The blues in A. Down. All right, so that is the idea. Jumping in cold here with you today, but if you're enjoying this so far, hit that like button, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel. All I'm doing right here is finding the tritone of each chord. So here's the first chord, A. Okay, I'll give you a little closer up view. You can see this good. So the first chord in the A, I have the A7. So here's the tritone right here. And that's the G and the third. That would be the, it's a C sharp right here. Because that makes up the chord right there. You have the 7th degree, which is a G of A, A7. And you have the third. So we're really just taking off the A note of this chord, making it A7. And the cool thing is that when you go down a half step, you're automatically playing the 3rd and the 7th of the 4 chord. So now over a D7 right here, you're playing the 3rd and the 7th. So what went from the 7th and the 3rd of the A is now the 3rd and 7th. 7th and 3rd is now the 3rd and 7th of the 4 chord, the D. And back up to the 4 chord, the A. Then you go up one more half step, and now that's the 3rd and 7th of the 5 chord, down 2 to the 4 chord, and back up 1. So that's how it's built. You have the tritone of the 1 chord. You go down a half step, and And now that's the tritone of the 4 chord. Back up to the 1 chord. Then over the 5 chord, go up a half step. The 1. Give this. So do it again. Right here, check this out over the loop. Down a half step. Back up half step. Up a half step. Down a whole step. So it's a cool little trick. It's really, really, really neat. And so hopefully you're having a good day out there today, a special Monday. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit on Monday. Let me know what you're drinking out there. I got my espresso beans, and it's tasting oh so good. Here, let's get a little sip. And the beauty of this too is that you can take it all over the neck and go up like this. In any one of these positions, do the same exact thing, and you can go down a half step. And now you know you're on the 4 chord. Back up a half step, back to the A. So I'm mixing in, the minor pentatonic. I'm locating the tritone. Now, in case you're not sure, the tritone, it's an interval. It's three whole steps away. It also divides the guitar, the octave. So in an A7 chord, it's always going to be the 7th degree right here. Check this out, I'll give you a little better view. Right here of this. So here's an A7 chord. You're already highlighting the tritone here. You have the 7th degree, which is the G note. Then you have the 3rd degree, which is a C sharp here. So it's right there. There's a tritone. There's 3 whole steps apart. So we do 3 whole steps. 1, 2, 3. It's right there. Or 1, 2, 3. If I played it off the root, you have that blue note. Tritone right there. The blues note, which is a... But we're not starting off the root, we're starting off the 7th. So it's the same thing, the tritone there. 7th, and it's the 3rd. So it's essentially the 7th and 3rd of each dominant chord that you have. So what's cool is once you go to the 4 chord, all you have to do is go down a half step right there. And now you're over the C chord, over the D chord, the 4. Because there it is again, the tritone. But it's the 3rd and the 7th, which is also 3 half steps away, 3 whole steps away. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But you don't have to look at it like that way. Just look at it as like that's part of the chord here. And then back up to the 1, to the A7. So you have the A7, 4 chord, to the 1 chord. And go into the 5 chord, look, you just go up one more time. One time from the A7 chord, tritone. And look, there's the the E7. Pretty cool stuff right there. And yeah, another thing that's pretty cool here too is that you could take the jump them up in octaves. So if you're playing an A7 right here, when you have the 7th and the 3rd, you take the 3rd to the 7th. The same thing applies right here too. If you go down a half step, it's part of the D7. See right here, it's just a different shape of a D7 chord, but it's this part. Now it's the 7th and the 3rd. This D7. Back down. Now back up one. Now you have your A7 chord, which is the 3rd and the 7th right there. Go up. Tritone of the E7 right there. Down 2. See, right here's where it gets a little tricky because you have to go down from the 5 chord to the 4 chord. So you're going down 2. Right back to where you were before. But it's easy to remember because it's really the 4 and the 5 chord are the same as if you were going down from the root. Just like that. So it's part of the same chord. And then you go up 1 half step. So it's all really right in the shape of 3. 4 chord. Up a half step to the 1 chord. 5 chord. Now down a whole step or 2 half steps. Up a half step. And then you can do the same thing with the turnaround. Pretty cool. All right. Hello, Jeffrey Boyle. Give you a round of applause. What you drinking out there today on this special Monday, episode 240? Can you believe that? 240 times. What is that so far? Well, if there's, let's put on our thinking caps. If there's 52 weeks in a year, that's 50, that's 204. So it would have to be 200, let's see, 50 times 25, 255. So it's not quite 5 years right there. That would be episode 250 times 520. Oh, I guess I should put my thinking cap back on. 50 times 5, 25, 250. Okay. 250 plus 5, 255. We're not quite there yet, 240. So almost at the 5-year point. 255. No, 52 weeks. So 2 times 5 would be another 10. So it'd be 260. It'd be 5 years. So we have a few months to go before that. So we're doing pretty good here. How's our tuning going? Close enough for rock and roll, right? All right. So this is really, really cool stuff. It's it really helps you identify where you are in your blues progression. Right there, it's because you're taking just 3 chords in the blues: the A7, D7, and the E7. D7, A. To the E7. So if I start off in this position right here, in this A, I know I have this A7 chord right here. I have this tritone. So I could kind of mess around in the area, use this as my target notes for playing the blues. Like here's the 7th, here's the 3rd. And stuff like that. And I know that if I bring this down a half step, then I have the same idea there really, where I have the 7th and the 3rd right here of the 4 chord. So I can do all the licks that I know in this area right here. Stuff like that, like bend up to the 3rd, back up to you. And I go up a half step again. And the same thing applies to here. Something like that. So if you're enjoying this so far, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I go live every Sunday, except when I can't. Then I'll push it back a day to Monday. So any questions about this stuff, let me know. And Gene's coming in from BC. That is British Columbia, I suppose, right? British Columbia. And that's in Canada, I do believe, if Yeah. So pretty cool there. Thanks for checking this out, Gene. And of course, Jeffrey Boyle's coming in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of the Super Bowl champion Eagles, which I'm happy for you. Sad for me and for my team. All right. So really cool stuff here. And it takes you through different positions too, which is pretty cool. So if you started off real low right here, you could start off in this position right here, right? So you can do it wherever you want. I mean, you can do it right here. Start on the A. Here's the 7th, and here's the 3rd. Here's your tritone. So you know you have your 7th degree and your 3rd, so you can do a little bend here to the 3rd. Just know where your roots are too, right there. So you got there, then right here. Then you have up here. And you have all these different positions, which is really cool to take it up, going vertically here. Got some noise. I don't know if you hear that. It's going on outside. There's always some kind of weird noise here on a Monday. So here it is right here. Root, tritone. Oh, 7th, tritone, 5th. 7th, tritone, 7th. The 3rd right there. 7th, tritone. I have no idea what that noise is. No idea. But we'll continue. Like that. There, it's gone. Thank God. So they're pretty symmetrical looking at it this way. 7th, 3rd, 3rd, 7th, 7th. See, these are all the same, only in reverse. Looks like this. 7th, 3rd, 7th, 3rd. But then when you get to the B string, of course, it goes up to here because of the tuning of the B string. So now here's your 3rd to your 7th. And once again, 7th to the 3rd. So every one of those takes you, it's the same idea going to the 4 chord. So if I go down, right there goes to the 4 chord of this D. Here's the 7th, and there's a low 3rd. Back to the A. And up a half step. There's the low 3rd of the E. And the 7th. Same thing with this one. Here's the A tritone. Yeah, that's right. Go Steelers. Kind of you to say, coming from an Eagles fan there. But you could at least spell it right. All right. So to put this in a practical way here, you know, keeping it in the position that you know and love right here. In this E shape. Because that's basically what I'm doing, is I'm focusing on all the thirds and the sevenths anyway. So it's a really neat trick. If I'm playing an A right here, and I'm focusing on the intervals of the seventh and the third, or here. Like I'm seeing the outline of this chord, and I see the scale, even if it's the pentatonic scale. Right there, over this A7 chord. I'm focusing on really three notes: the root, the seventh, and the third, the major third, because it's a major chord. So if you could see, take out the root for a second, you see the third and the seventh. There's a third and the seventh, and the third, and the seventh. In any direction, if you go down well, not any direction, but if you go down a half step, now you're right there on the 4 chord. And it's the same thing. Back up a half step to the 1 chord. And what's cool about that is it's the framework of, you know, all of your licks. So if you're up here on this tritone, like I can see my root, where that is right there. The third, the seventh. Good stuff. Hopefully you're getting something out of this so far. If you are, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. Having a cold brew coffee. All right. That sounds very, very refreshing. It's almost like my favorite drink. My cold brew with the vanilla cold foam on top. From Starbucks, that is. And I always say it that way, that I want the cold brew with the vanilla cold foam on top, right? Like, as if that helps. Maybe it does. All right. So it helps in other positions too. Like say if I was playing up here. Play the 4 chord up here. So I decide to go here. Just go up a half step and I'm right back in A. Right back in A right there, like this. Nope, that's not it there. To A, coming to the E chord. So no matter where you are. Even right there. So, really cool practice. Just let this backing track kind of go right here. Do a little, just kind of find out where you're at right here. Down a half step, up half step. Having a good time here today playing some blues, keeping it really simple, and locating where the tritone is of each chord. It's really simple how to find it. Right? It's right there. A7 chord. It's your A7. And it's always going to be the 7th degree and the 3rd. And when you go to that 4 chord, all you got to do is just drop it. Look at it. And that shape turns right into the 4 chord. And then right up half step, back to the 1 chord. And then up another half step. Look, it takes you right to the 5 chord. Now you have to go down back 2 half steps, back to the 4 chord, and then up 1 for the 1 chord. That's a harmony of it. Okay. That's the same everywhere, even if it's up here. It's the 3rd and the 7th of the chord. Bring that down, and now it's the part of the 4 chord. Up another half step. Then the 4 chord. There's the 1, 4, 1, 5. Pentatonic scale. Same thing up here. Up to the major 3rd. Fifth. Feels so weird playing it up here on an SG. The frets get so thin. Right? So they all kind of blend into each other. Just like that. All blending into each other. So I'm a little under the weather today. I think I have a head cold. So not only am I a head case, but now I have a head cold too. Yeah. So it's really good to find these tritones in here in the blues. It's like tritone magic, just like the title says right there. It's a musical interval consisting of 3 whole steps or 6 half steps, divides the octave in half, and also known as the augmented fourth or diminished fifth. I don't really like to look at it like augmented fourth, like a sharp fourth or diminished fifth in this case, because I'm not using in that sense really. If it was the diminished fifth, it would be a different thing. I'd be using it as a like a blues, in the blues right there. You know. You know. Using it as the 7th and the 3rd of the chords, right? And to find the tritones of the blues playing, it's the 3rd and the flat 7th of all of the dominant 7th chords that you're playing, and that is the core tritone. So yeah, and it's really cool. You can use them in lots of different ways. You get really funky with it, you know. If you're playing knowing how to move it all around the neck, right here. Like if you're playing it up here in A. All you have to do is just move down a half step. Back up a half step. Up a half step. All right. Hopefully you're enjoying this so far. Got a little bit left here to go before we wrap it up here on a Monday, a special Monday, episode 240 here. And I'm just trying to utilize this to really kind of navigate the fretboard with it, locate the the tritones. What's cool is like another trick about what you can do with this is, say you're kind of just playing around and you're on the 1 chord, right? You find yourself up here. Then go right to the 4 chord right here. Now you're right up there on the E, on this E7 chord. So you can kind of just know like where you are without having to think of any positions. You're already taking yourself up to a certain position. Like I started off down here. So even if I end up right here, if I go down, I know that I'm on the 4 chord right there. And I could navigate it wherever I want based on the 3rd degree and the 7th degree. I could take the 7th and bend up to the root. Or I could take this 3rd, bend it up to a 4th, or take the minor 3rd to the 3rd. If I go back up here, I know I'm back on the root, on the 1 chord. I can go like this to the 5 chord. It's all about the chord pulling to the next one. It's like this. It's A7. Once you go to that 4 chord. All right. Pretty cool. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. If you are, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel. I think next Sunday, will we be back to next Sunday? Nope, we're going to have to do it again on Monday, the 18th, because I'll be coming home from Washington. And sounds a little crazy, but, you know, I've been spending a little bit more time in the airplane than I have on the ground. Like just this past weekend, on Wednesday, I flew to Phoenix, where we played at the MIM, the Museum, Musical Instruments Museum in Phoenix, Arizona, and that was great. And that was with the great SOS, direct from Sweden, the music of ABBA band. And we played 2 days there, 4 shows. And then we flew the next morning, which was Saturday morning, to Pala, California, where it was one of the best shows ever. Outside, maybe like 2,000 people, between the hotel and the pool. And that was really cool. Outside show, beautiful. This past Saturday night. And then spent the day yesterday at the airport flying home, just so that I could leave again on Wednesday in 2 days, going back to Utah, where we're playing in Sandy, Utah for 2 days, and then back to Arlington, Washington, where one of my favorite places, the Angels of the Wind Casino, and then flying home again on Sunday. So I should have stayed probably on the West Coast, but it didn't work out. But I'm here home for a few days, so what would I rather do than go live here with you and spend some time? So any questions about this stuff, let me know, and right now in the chat, or if you're watching in the future, which you probably will be, leave comments, ask questions, which I do have a question here. And the question is, how do you use tritones in the blues? I mean, there's lots of cool ways to do it. I mean, there is one trick that I like to do a lot, which is a pretty cool tritone. When I go on the turnaround, you know, like for instance, you get the A. Here's a turnaround, by the way. If you're not familiar with this type of turnaround that I like to play a lot, it's just an A. Oops. So really it's an A, A7, the 4 chord, which is D. Go up a half step, diminish, D sharp diminish, and into the 5 chord, which is in this case is an E. So it's A, A7, D, D sharp diminish, E7. Back to the A. So once you have the turnaround, it's like 5 chord, 4 chord, then a 1, 7, 4, diminish, 5. A tritone sub over this 5th would be taking the E and playing that a tritone away, which is a slightly different use of it. If I do a tritone away, it will be this note, like this. So now I'm going to play a 7th off of this. So instead of playing the E7 like this, I could play something off this note. Now I'm playing off this chord, B flat. Back to the A, which I usually do like an arpeggio or something. So in the context of a turnaround, it'd be like this. Back to the 1. You know what I mean? Like in this context of this blues, check it out. what I mean? So I'm substituting the B flat for the E. That was pretty cool at the end, like, you know, over the E chord. Just adds a little bit more. A little, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, a little more pull towards the one. A little outside right there. A little tension. That's what it is. Tension. A little tension and release. So it's a normal one would be like over this E. Be like a, you know. It's pretty nice and, you know, sounds normal. But if I do this, you know? Something like that. You'd be like this. Or the other one would be. Some of the magic of the tritone substitution. But this isn't really about substitutions. It's more about just finding your way around through the essential tritone or the chord tritone of each of the dominant chords. So we're going to wrap it up right here. If you're enjoying this so far, this video, hit that like button. Thank you for hanging out with me here today for a little bit on a Monday. I know you're probably doing other things, important things, but keep that guitar warm. You got to play it. That's all you can do. If you want to get better, you got to play. There's no way around it. You got to pick it up and play it. Keep it handy, so you can just grab it at any time. Don't keep it far away in the case locked up where you have to go and take it out. If you're feeling that urge and you're feeling inspired to play, it's good to have the guitar right there next to you. So that is the idea. Follow the tritones. Follow the tritones right there. Just like this. Check it out. Following the tritones. off the deep end a little bit, but thank you very much for hanging out with me for a little bit here on a Monday. Love yous a lot. And mention my guitar course real quick. It's called the Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. I'll put a link in the description for that. And there's 4 parts of the course. There is fretboard memorization, where you learn how to navigate through the entire fretboard. The circle of fifths, where it shows you how to play in every key, all 12 keys, very systematically, very easily. There's a section on the blues, which has lots of backing tracks and PDFs and scale PDFs, and there's a section on the cage system, which is really cool too, and 251s over the cage system. So check that out, link it in the description. I'd appreciate that. Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. So thank you for hanging out with me here today. Any questions, please let me know. Any ideas for future lessons? I'll see you next week for sure. And definitely have a great rest of your week. Remember, be cool, be kind, and be cherry. And if you want to see another video on 5 steps to becoming a better blues guitar player, I'll put that right up there. All right, have a great week. Love yous, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.